Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So I think Jagex finally did it. I think they've just pulled it off. So if you didn't watch the microtransaction livestream, I'll make sure that it's in the description of this video. But basically in this video, we're going to discuss the microtransaction livestream which Jagex just dropped on their YouTube channel. So this is off the back of all the MTX sort of experiments they did over the summer, the removal of Treasure Hunter, no sort of skilling items on bonus XP, all that sort of stuff. And what basically Jagex have decided to do from Mod North, who again delivered on another one of these posts again. This is probably the second or third one where Mod North, you believe that man. Like, he presents it in such a way and explains it very thoroughly that what they want to do to this game is bring the integrity back into this game. And by doing that, they have identified that Treasure Hunter is a major problem. So what has been put forward to the player base is a poll. Now, I know a poll is a little bit anticlimactic, considering like the amount of evidence, the amount of time they've already put into it. But I think this is the final sort of thing they want the player base to get involved in. And it's nice that they're getting the player base involved in it as well. So what the basis of it is if the Treasure Hunter poll gets to 100,000 votes to remove it, they will remove Treasure Hunter. And personally, I do think 100k is a number which is reasonable. We could hit that, especially if we got any of the sort of help from the old school community to get rid of this. This is a correct move, not just for RS3, but for old school, for everything as whole in terms of Runescape to go forward and get. Now, not only have they mentioned that they're removing Treasure Hunter, they have gone pretty full on with what they're going to do in terms of everything behind Treasure Hunter, all the items as well, which we'll look in the post in a second. But also, they've laid some foundations for the up-and-coming year. Now, they've mentioned that the roadmap is going to be released in January, which is a massive plus. Last year, the amount of uproar because of how late the roadmap was, we didn't really get it till like March. I don't think March or April. But now they've actually committed to it at the beginning of the year, pretty much when I think old school will get theirs, which is a massive move in the right direction. And they have mentioned throughout the video, which I really recommend you guys to watch, the integrity of the game is the base of what they're basing everything off. They want to bring the integrity back into RuneScape, the enjoyment back into RuneScape, but also not make it something like Dailyscape. So the amount of content they've gradually brought in through the whole post and what they want to achieve and what they want to go after is really, really something to look forward to. Now, after that Treasure Hunter video we did yesterday, I was very down on this. Like, it was another kick, and I think this is completely done on 180. And I'll take back some of the things which I said in yesterday's video, because you could tell that that was possibly already done. It was something which they had like already processed. It was already had resources towards it. And this seems to be the absolute correct move. So if you're looking for where to vote, I'll put a link into the post. It's also worth reading the post as well, because there's some really, really good information there. Now on the post, you'll also have the video. Again, read, watch. It's so good to understand like where they're coming from. And you can see it from the mods and Mod North. They are believing in this project. They want to go and push this going forward. And the removal of Treasure Hunter is going to be massive on so many different things, because not only is it going to remove Treasure Hunter, they said they're going to remove 225 direct XP and skilling items for sale. Not only that, you have a little note here of everything they're going to remove, but some of the things you're going to also get rid of is divine locations, skilling outfits, dummies, stars, lamps, portables, which I do think the one thing they should keep is portables, just because of how it works in terms of a community area. Even if they didn't give the extra XP, I think the nice little buff of like extra materials and saving stuff does bring people together to go and do it together as well. And maybe that could be done with something with Fala or through the mini games. Maybe that could bring life to mini games if it gives like certain portables and stuff, because I do think portables, we could slightly amend them, but I do think they do bring a value to like bringing people together to do some skills. But the amount of stuff which you're getting removed from the game in terms of XP and skilling items means that your normal items, like your skilling supplies, it's going to bring GP back into that again. So which does mean that just more than skilling benefits, because you've got so many PVM drops which drop skilling items, but skilling will massively have an uplift off this, because people will need to buy skilling items to go and level up their skills. Like, so long now, people have just relied on proteins to level their skills up, which has left a massive influx of the skilling items which come through the game from both skilling players and also PVMers. And hopefully with this move, you now have the actual loop of items coming in, items going out, which has been RuneScape's problem now for a decade or maybe even more. There never seems to be that balance of items coming in with items going out. And hopefully with a removal of Treasure Hunter, you're going to lose the GP, the skilling items, the skilling XP for people to get levels and achieve certain things. they're going to have to buy the skilling items, and then that economy cycle comes back into the game, which made the game so much fun because you bought items, you buy XP, then progress your account, and you went and made some more GP to then buy your XP. So really, really excited for that. They've got a year-long integrity roadmap, which they're thinking of bringing in, which again will tie into January's sort of like Runescape Ahead roadmap. And the big thing they mentioned here was they're investing in new content. They're investing in new content, but also wanted to cycle back a little bit, look at things like the combat system, because they still know the combat system's a little bit broken. They sort of mentioned it very loosely here. They wanted to look at like how items appear. Now, in the post, which was full of really good points, there was one little tiny down point, and that's purchasable bonus XP. Now, they identified that from all the feedback they got, 54% of players enjoyed having some form of XP to help them with limited time schedules and stuff, which I kind of get. And they did mention they're going to put a limit on this as well. But if this is what we have to take for sort of Treasure Hunter to go, I think it's a worthy sort of trade-off. Like, the amount of people who will be purchasing bonus XP, I imagine they'll do it at such a high rate. It's not technically worthwhile. It's definitely worth it because we'll gain so much more with losing all these items coming to the game compared to the couple of people who are going to sort of buy this purchasable bonus XP. It's a little bit of a downer. It wasn't a complete W all the way through, but I'd say we're 95 and 5. This is a tiny little thing for us to accept for the sheer positives, which everything will be going forward. Cosmetics, always a very talked about thing as well. So cosmetics are still around, and I kind of agree with it really because it's such a GP maker and people love their cosmetics. They're no harm to the game, just really to my eyesight. But they've identified this, so I think there's going to be cosmetic worlds coming in. And not only that, there should be a way for us to remove people's cosmetics so we don't have to view them as well, which will be really, really nice to be fair. Like, rather than having all the colours and all the stuff like that, if you don't want to play with it, you don't have to. If you want to go on worlds where they're not there, you can also do that as well. So it's nice to see that like they're looking not just at the XP and the skill stuff. The cosmetics still had enough feedback from all the experiments and stuff for them to properly look into. So what they've basically said is the poll's going to end on midnight at November 11th. So from November 12th, they'll sort of take the information from that and move forward, and we'll get another feedback post afterwards as well. But now is the time to jump in, and now is the time to vote as well. For me, what I'm more excited about than Treasure Hunter is the sort of tone of which they're sort of looking at the updates going forward. They're looking at addressing what they know to be problems with the game. They also mentioned Dailyscape as well, and try and get rid of some of the things which are sort of forcing that Dailyscape mentality. And we're looking at investing in new content and new ways to sort of bump up the value of Runescape 3, which you couldn't have asked for any more a year ago. This is what we've been sort of going on about for a decade or more. All these things which have really harmed the game, they're targeting. And every time Mod North sort of steps up on these kind of videos, he really delivers and he really talks through it, and he sort of understands the game from a point of a player and how it can affect it and how it's sort of ruining that old feel. I think especially like a lot of returning players now are trying to find that feel of RuneScape they got when they played so many years ago. And with all the things like Treasure Hunter, Dailyscape, all these problems they're going to challenge and get rid of, it kind of ruins it. But I'm really excited looking forward. I think with all these changes, it's going to bring so much more content for us to both play, for me to make videos on, and with the removal of Treasure Hunter, the amount of money-making methods which we can do, 7-day bond or videos to help you guys make some more cash, will be even more than ever. And I'm really interested as well to see, like, with things like keys gone, does that affect the price of bonds? Do people buy as many bonds? So yeah, really, really interested to see how that goes. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys going to vote? I really, really recommend you guys do. So check out the link. In the link, you'll have the link to vote as well as the video to watch. Read the blog, watch the video, and drop your vote in as well. Currently, we are sat at a total of, when it loads, 11,000 people already. We're already 10% of the way. We can do it. We can change it. We can change it for the better as well. But let me know what you guys are thinking. Have you voted already? And what do you think to this going forward as well? Really looking forward to it. Really happy considering how annoyed I was in the video with the Treasure Hunter promo. But going to wrap it up from there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are supporting. Hope you guys go and check out the poll. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for a brand new video.